Now we are going to look at the motion of a body when it is thrown vertically up from the top of a tower. And this concept is helpful in finding out the height of the tower. Here see that whenever a body is thrown from the top of a tower of height h, the tower height is given as h. So whenever a body is thrown from the top of the tower with an initial velocity u, then it reaches to the maximum height and its final velocity becomes 0, then it will be coming down and reaches to the ground with some other velocity v. By the time it reaches to the same point in the reverse direction, the velocity with which you have thrown upwards will be the same as that of the when it is reaching to the downwards exactly at the same point. That means in the reverse sense, the direction will be changing but magnitude will remain same. In this case, given is u, that means with which the body is thrown, initial velocity is given, then the displacement of the body. See here it's a crucial thing you have to remember, because whenever a body is thrown upwards with an initial velocity u, the direction is upward, whereas the body is reaching into downward direction. Therefore, we are to take the displacement as h is the magnitude, but since it is coming in downward direction, we are taking the negative notation for that. And acceleration due to gravity at the initial condition we need to consider. So at the initial condition it is going against the gravity, therefore we are taking a as minus g. And for this entire process, that means starting from the top of the tower and reaching to the ground, it is taking a time t, let us suppose. Now using all these known parameters, we can calculate the height of the tower. Because the known parameters are these, then one of the equations of motion is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Using that particular equation, substitute all the values over there. Here you are getting the height of the tower is given by minus ut plus half gt square. This is one of the important equations to remember in solving the problems related to the height of the tower. And here you need to remember one more point. This equation is valid whenever a body is thrown in vertically upward direction from the top. If at all it is thrown horizontally from the top of a tower, the equation is going to differ. That we will be looking in the later classes. And here we need to look at only the case when body is vertically thrown up. Just similar to that, you can consider a case when a balloon is moving in upward direction with some velocity and a body is thrown out of the balloon. As an example, I am just looking at a stone is thrown out of the balloon as it is going upward. In this case, this stone will be having the velocity same as that of the balloon when it is coming out of the balloon. So it will be moving with the same velocity in upward direction because initial motion is in upward direction. It reaches to certain height, then its final velocity becomes 0 and will be coming down. Whereas balloon will be continuously moving in upward direction. Here two factors you need to consider with reference to the person standing on the earth. So with reference to the person standing on the earth, balloon is at a height of h initially. So height of the balloon initially is h. This he wants to find out. The value of h is to be determined. In such case, he will be using the equation just similar to the case what we have discussed, that is minus h is equal to ut minus half gt square. The equation written over here. But whereas if you look at the motion of the stone with respect to the balloon, the person inside the balloon always thinks that it is falling under the influence of gravity. That is the reason the stone velocity he treats as 0 and substituting 0, the body is freely falling down. That means when you are making u as 0, h is equal to half gt square. So depending upon the relative positions, the equations will be varying. So this is one of the crucial equations of motion where you can find out the height of the given tower.